Chase by Dallas, make it hurt.
Good day, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Commercial Real Estate Investing, the Black Community Edition. I am your humble host, Dominic Green, Managing Partner of Atentico Commercial Real Estate Services here in the Dallas area. Wanted to just drop in here today real quick because I've been doing, as part of what I'm doing on a daily basis, was happening to do some office stuff. And working on some office leasing information and stuff like that. Transactions, I'm sorry. But nonetheless, if you're following the news, you still some of these outlets, major outlets, still talking about, working from home, COVID, all that good stuff that affected office. And that still is true. It has been affected. Still somewhat being affected. But if you also pay attention to the other articles and stuff that's a little bit local, you'll notice that leasing activity for office space has kind of picked up. Some of your businesses are good. Some of your well-known businesses have already come out and restated that they are not necessarily going to get rid of office space. They are going to make some adjustments. They're going to make some adjustments to the work schedule, which, if you watched the previous episode, I kind of anticipated that there will be some flexibility in working, and it's just a matter of what the person's job description is, the type of culture they got, the type of business. And like I said before, businesses were already kind of readjusting their need for office space. But like I said, prior to that, the reasons that people were searching for new office space, expanding, was obviously because of their business, the economy. The economy is going to be picking it back up. Everybody's out because of the vaccine. People want to get out. People want to, be amongst people. If you've been going to any of these events, especially networking events, people are relieved to be around each other again, tired of being at home, doing all these webinars and having issues with internet, trying to do webinars and all that good stuff. Just the energy again of being surrounded by people, because again, we're social creatures, and so they are still leasing office space. There's going to be adjustment to it, but with all that being said, the buildings that were affected here lately, I'm starting to see come across my desk from an investment standpoint. Office buildings that I've seen come across are some pretty decent, definitely Class B, maybe Class A minus, you would say, buildings that have come across that have vacancies or leased at anywhere between 50 and 60%. And again, if you've seen my previous videos, you know that I kind of say, on average, from what I've seen statistically here, in the Dallas market, probably in Texas in general, a lot of these buildings are operating on average. The trend is about 70% roughly. So you kind of want to factor that in as far as your long-term general vacancy for the markets. But they vary market to market. But nonetheless, so that means this is a potential opportunity for those, again, that are interested in investing in commercial office buildings, to take advantage of the lower occupancy of these buildings with the potential to get some of the upside here in the next, I would say probably in the next 36 months or so, just depending on, if nothing else happens, another shock, which, you just can never tell. You can't predict that stuff. But I can tell you that businesses are looking to lease office space again. And that's just from a personal standpoint, of what I've been doing here. And it just all of a sudden you just start seeing these emails come across. I guess while you're in the process of doing stuff, and you're like, oh. So, I just wanted to touch base with you guys that there's opportunity. Definitely, when you do read these sales brochures. Remember that's what they are. The offering memorandums are in the business of selling you great pictures, great photos, the best case scenarios. So always do your due diligence. Please, if you can, get the as much information up front to make the best decisions, to do your underwriting and due diligence, factor in the vacancies, and then double check the expenses, verify the income, so you can come out with the right net operating income or sustainable cash flows if you're following the model I was telling you guys on for how Morningstar goes about when they're underwriting these commercial mortgage-backed securities on these large multi-million dollar properties that are looking for loans. So be on the lookout for that. But also, like I said, I think this may be opportunity. I think now that there's been somewhat of a slow change happening. A lot of the owners that held on or probably got hammered, maybe lender covenants and all that, and they're just ready to kind of move on to a different product or just get out of the business in general, or whatever the circumstance may be. I think now you're starting to see some of that creep in, and then also those are going to be looking to take advantage of those opportunities, because what's been hot and stayed hot, multifamily, industrial, and even though there's certain sectors of that, those cap rates have been compressed severely. So what do most investors look for? They're chasing yield. They have been chasing yield. They were chasing safety. Now they're chasing yield, and they've always been chasing yield, especially if you have certain obligations like your pension funds and things like that. They're getting back into it, and then of course the company that I follow or have invested in from a stock standpoint, Blackstone. If you listen to some of their comments, they gave little hints where they've been heavily at, and now they're kind of shifting. If you listen to it, that their theme is they're going to be taking a look back at office buildings again. So office buildings and hotels as well, because again, their conviction on what's happening, what's going to go forward, it's going to allow them. Plus, they have access to tons and tons and tons of data to where the opportunities are, and because they're in a special class, they'll get privileged opportunities, first dibs, sometimes on certain opportunities that none of us will ever see at this juncture. Hopefully, if we continue to do what we do, creating this platform, sharing resources, sharing knowledge, working with each other, collaborating, and all that good stuff. Because that's my goal, is to create a platform where we can put our money to work so we can acquire commercial real estate as part of our process of the building blocks of building the wealth that we want, taking care of taking care of our families, taking care of the people that are most important to us, funding the things that are important to us, initiatives, philanthropy, generational wealth, you name it. I believe commercial real estate is just one of those things that is a building block to that. It's not it's a and. On top of owning businesses and stocks and stuff like that. But nonetheless, like I said, I think it's a great opportunity. So definitely for those who are interested in looking at office buildings, definitely, this would probably be the time to really start doing if you haven't already and you don't already have it written down, start doing some due diligence on areas that you want to consider, building types that you may be interested in. As I always look at properties, I'm always looking what's the competitive advantage, because I'm thinking long term. So I'm looking to have something that will produce sustainable income for a long period of time, and provide the returns to my partners that are joining me in this effort, and allowing me to purchase the properties, operate them, and all that good stuff. So I think this is a good opportunity. Get on the mailing list. Do your due diligence, look at the different properties, figure out what type you like. I know preference-wise, I'm never going to probably be interested in anything that's downtown. I've just seen that a lot of those buildings have historically been operated at I think it's just a lot of unused space. So particularly if I do look at something like downtown, I will look at it hopefully it's not in historic or preservation or anything like that, but I would look to do something of a mixed use deal. If I could get the zone change to where you have office, maybe you have a hotel in there, and you have some residential in there. You got to figure out all the dynamics and the pricing, well, not the pricing, but how everything can work as far as the floor plates, the not only the utilities but the infrastructure there, how that will fit and work. And then because like I said, a lot of those buildings, especially downtown, some of them buildings have 600, 800,000 square feet, million square feet, and a lot of that's not going to get used. I mean, again, businesses are already downsizing or right sizing. So unless you're just in the area that's just prime, in nature, you're not a text message that I know of, where space is just, space is kind of abundant. But if you're in an area where it's very restrictive, maybe on the coast, and the things are already built out, then maybe that's a different story. But for the most part, if I'm looking at it, it's going to be something from a mixed use standpoint. And then, like I said, most of the new buildings, if you're seeing, there are larger floor plates, larger windows, efficiencies. They're seeking these platinum standards and ratings. So they're kind of more mid-rise structures. Almost, if you see the construction, almost tilt wall construction, in a sense, like they're building an industrial building with mezzanine flooring and stuff like that. I think those are probably best. I think those are more of a long-term thing, as well, more long-term than the skyscraper type buildings, in my opinion. Just from a standpoint of multiple uses, the way you can cut up the size of the buildings, of the floor plates, the layouts, and like I said, I think it just gives a better presence. That's just my personal opinion. So that's what I may look at: more mid-rise buildings, 4 floors maybe, if that. Well, somewhere in that range. But definitely nothing that's a skyscraper that has 10, 20 floors. No, I think that's just a lot of unused space, in my opinion. Unless, again, you're going to do something that's mixed use, then you can definitely take advantage. Because like I said, those buildings, especially here, are, if not completely vacant, they have a very low vacancy. So obviously you got an issue with parking, but we all know, and if you don't know, commercial real estate is valued on it, the income that it can generate, and in return, that's what you're willing to pay for it based on the type of return that you want, the cap rate, the market cap rate, vice versa. So those could be prime opportunities. But nonetheless, I think now you'll probably see some more of these properties starting to hit the market, so people can take it. So people can, so you can take advantage of them if you're interested in that particular market. But definitely, like I said, make sure you read the OMs carefully, do your due diligence, figure out how you would operate the property, and make sure you check the market rents. Because like I said, the job of the OM is to sell. So it looks pretty neat. Gives you the best case scenario. And the first thing I always think, if that's so great, why sell? Because most people, if they can generate all that and there's that much upside, they would just keep it and invest it for themselves. So something else is going on. So just double check, verify, trust but verify, as the saying goes. So as always, like, share, subscribe. Leave a thumbs up if it's, I guess we gotta work this algorithm thing. Leave a comment, leave a like. If there's any information you want in particular to talk about, leave it in there as well. Something you want to share, please leave that. Join the Facebook group, working on building that so we can continue the conversation to meet offline. And if I can be of any help, definitely reach out. Let's connect. Let's build. And I believe we have the power to do it. There's been plenty of examples of doing it before. We can do it now. So again, like, share, subscribe. Let's continue talking about investing in commercial real estate. I'll do my best to continue to provide information. And until next time. Happy investing.
Piece by Dallas, make it hurt.